Welcome to Knitting Daily. Today's show is all about projects with single skeins. And to get us started, we've got Kathy Elkins from Webs. Welcome back, Kathy.
Hi, Uni. Good to see you again.
So what have you brought for us today?
I've brought lots of inspiration for things to do with single skeins. I think a lot of times folks feel if they have a leftover skein in their stash that there's really nothing that they can do with it, and hopefully this will show them that there's lots of different creative ideas out there.
Great, and I see a really wide variety of things. So.
Absolutely. Let's start up at the front with the little clutches. Those are made from a yarn that has 109 yards on the skein. It knits at 5 stitches to the inch on a number 7 needle, and we were able to get both the larger and the smaller little clutch out of one skein.
Oh, great. What a great little stash busting project.
It's a great stash busting project. It's something you could use as a sachet in a drawer, or you could use it as a gift. And then next, the scarf at the front, that's just a beautiful, beautiful design. And again, one skein of a wool silk blend yarn. And I think people are probably thinking, wow, you can get a whole scarf out of one of those skeins. And you really can, even with all of that detail that's in there.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. And then here in the middle is one of my favorites. You know, put a sequin on anything and I'm a sucker. But this is a wonderful example of how to use a very expensive skein of yarn that I think most people, including myself, tend to shy away from as much as I love them, just because, you know, budgets can be tight. But you can get a great little project out of one skein. This can be a very impactful gift for someone special in your life and something for yourself.
Well, and I think it's a great way to point out that, you know, you can really stretch luxury yarns a long way by using lace, by using more open fabrics.
Absolutely, and even in this case, you could cast on fewer stitches and probably get a little bit more length out of it as well, if that was more your aesthetic.
Right, what a good idea.
Great. And then the little shrug at the front, I absolutely love that, and I know a lot of people are probably saying it looks a little tiny, but it comes from a worsted weight yarn with 247 yards, and it's really meant to be a shrug, just that little something over your shoulders in case it's chilly or cool, you know, air conditioning in a restaurant type of thing. And again, you get to add some detail work with it and something a little bit different from just, you know, a felted coaster or something like that.
Okay, and finally, you know, how do you get a whole garment out of one unit of yarn here?
Right, well, you can. There's lots of large skeins out there on the market that you can do garments with, especially in the hand-dyed variety. For us, we have a lot of cone yarn, so we like to knit as well as weave with it. And I've brought 2 examples with me. The vintage vest here to your right is a beautiful example.
And the pattern is on the web, right?
The pattern is on the web. It's a beautiful alpaca silk blend yarn and just a gorgeous design, great shell to wear over as a layering piece. And then here to my left is just a classic style top-down sweater. Again, out of one cone of yarn. There's actually yarn left over when you finish this project. And you know, this is the type of sweater that if I saw in the store, I'd buy in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
Just a great basic.
I love the idea of knitting with lace weight to really get a
Absolutely,
whole
and it doesn't
out
have to always be a lace project, which is also good to know.
Well, great. Well, thanks so much for being with us today, Kathy.
Thanks, Uni.
And on location, we've got Shay and Cheryl Potter up next.
Knitting Daily. Make time for yarn every day. The projects and patterns from today's show, plus more ideas and projects, can be found on the web at knittingdailytv.com. This is show 207. Continue knitting daily every day by joining the online Knitting Daily community and receive a free newsletter 5 times a week, filled with step-by-step techniques, inspiring reader-contributed stories, and free patterns. It's about knitting all the time. knittingdaily.com. Knitting Daily has been sponsored in part by Webs, America's Yarn Store, a source for knitting and crocheting yarns and supplies. Yarn.com.